Welcome back to another episode of Big Movie Mouth Off, the podcast where three Salt Lake City-based critics foam at the mouth about film. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
This is episode 21, boys. I'm going to need to see some ID.
Finally.
Is it midnight? Have we just been waiting to get into the bar the whole time and now we can like sneak in? Well, not sneak in, I guess.
You're going to turn into a pumpkin if we don't.
Yeah.
I already am a pumpkin.
I can drink whatever I want. Just don't feed me.
Well, we are doing a show. I feel like we've done many of these that includes a sequel and a prequel, which is just a different kind of sequel. So
Welcome to Hollywood.
we're going to first talk about Inside Out 2, the follow-up to the Pixar runaway hit of a few years ago. And then we're going to talk about a prequel from John Krasinski's Quiet Place universe. It's called A Quiet Place Day One. Then we'll do our guilty pleasures, disaster movie edition, meaning an apocalypse in progress, not post-apocalypse. That's a very important distinction. Apocalypse in progress.
And I think Brooks might have picked mine. So
Uh-oh.
Well, I have another one. You go first, because I
Okay.
have two.
Mine isn't super imaginative, so it's possible either one of you picked it, but we'll do that, and then we'll do our coming attractions, then we'll wrap things up. Before we talk about Inside Out 2, here's a little clip from the trailer.
Riley's life requires more sophisticated emotions than all of you.
You can't just bottle us up.
We are suppressed emotions!
Let Operation New Riley begin. You aren't packed yet?
I'm the worst.
Well, that's a preview of the next 10 years.
Come on, Riley needs us. Have I ever steered you wrong before?
Many times.
Okay, Adam, take us through this one.
All right. Well, this one picks up a couple years after the first one. Riley is now 13 and she's moved to San Francisco. She's at a new school trying to fit in. And what happens when you turn 13? Puberty hits. And of course, when puberty hits, we get a bunch of new emotions. We have anxiety, envy, embarrassment, ennui. But what we've kind of missed was while she's growing up, all of her memories and her experiences have kind of started to form her sense of self, like what kind of person she is. And she does believe that she's a good person. However, Joy doesn't want to be there, played by Amy Poehler. She doesn't want the other emotions to take over because she wants to be at the helm, makes some mistakes. And because of that, the new puberty emotions get all the other ones, lock them away, and then they have to escape, try to recover Riley's sense of self, and hopefully come back and save the day from all the lovely teenage anxieties, worries, and emotions that run rampant through you for some people the rest of their lives.
It is kind of a battle for Riley's soul, isn't it?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I believe that you have to have seen the first movie to really understand what's going on in this one. Because like many Pixar movies, they take concepts and they put them in a different frame. They embody them with characters, and things like emotions are peopled with voices and bodies we can watch and learn from. They're not just concepts in this film. So I do think to understand the conceit of the Inside Out world, you do have to have seen the first one. So Brooks, from your perspective, I have two questions for you. Did we need this, and is it any good?
Did we need it? Not completely, but I can see why they did it, especially because, I mean, there's obviously with the new emotions, there's just so much they can jump into. I just thought it was kind of interesting that they did it so close in age to the first one. It's only 2 years, but as we all know, a lot can happen in a very short amount of time.
I think the point they're trying to make is the difference between 11 and 13 is more than just 2 years, right? And
exactly.
I liked being in this world, and I'm going to answer my own question about did we need this with a sort of yes, because I think the first one was so good. What they did with it, though, I'm not sure it went far enough to make it stand apart from the first film. You know, we've talked before about how a sequel is not always its own thing. Sometimes it's a DLC in video game terms, right? And I think this felt like a DLC. And I know I jokingly asked you, Brooks, about whether or not the movie was any good, and I didn't let you answer it. We'll get there, of course. But what do you think, Adam, about this DLC concept of mine? Do you think I'm right about the fact that this isn't a fully fledged movie on its own, more of a 1.5?
It's funny you said that because before you even started down that path, Brooks, when you were talking, I had the exact same thought of it. Okay, so we like the first one. You know, the first one I'd say is probably one of my favorite Pixar movies. I think it was just beautifully and wonderfully done. But this was just kind of more of the same, which isn't to say that that's a bad thing, because sometimes having a good property, a good foundation, world building that we've done, and expanding on that can be a fantastic thing. And we talked a lot about that with the prequel of Furiosa, or my viewpoint at least, really expanded upon the Mad Max world. But this one just, again, 1.5. Like we kind of followed a similar journey. We saw some new sights and some new wonders, and we had some new experiences, just like Riley was having. And maybe that was what they're trying to get across. But I didn't feel like we took a new journey. Yeah, we had some more characters. We had some new laughs. The sarcasm joke is still hilarious to me. I think that's wonderful because I'm a very sarcastic person.
Yep.
No.
I know, right? But I don't feel we got a fully fleshed out new story.
I honestly wasn't sure if I wanted to see more of this after the first one, but I definitely do not want to see more of it after the second one. And it's not because I didn't like it. Like you said, Adam, it's a good experience. It's fun to be back in this world and with these characters. But I wonder, Brooks, if you agree that particularly with animated products, I wish the creators had the courage to leave them alone. Sometimes there were way too many Cars movies. There's been way too many How to Train Your Dragon movies.
You mean you don't love constant IP being shoved down our throat?
I don't. And I think about something like Up or Wall-E, where one and done, both wonderful, and they left them alone. I wish they had courage to do that more often. I think Inside Out could have been one of those stories because, yeah, could there be a third one with Riley as a person in her 20s? Sure. But they've already shown us what happens in the brains of adults. So there's no new material to go
Yeah,
to.
that's true.
What were you going to say, Adam?
Oh, I was say as far as a one and done thing, after my viewing of Despicable Me 4 last night, I can definitely say that 3 and done should have been the most. But that's a different story.
3 is awful.
That was a mini
3
review.
was
for you,
where it
ladies
got
and
really
gentlemen.
bad.
A mini review. Brooks, I didn't let you answer before. Do you wish the same as me that they would leave some of these properties alone after one really great showing?
Well, I think what Disney has been doing with some of them is, Pixar's known for their shorts. Just maybe branch into some shorts. Do maybe like Up is it Doug Days on Disney
Mhm.
Plus?
Yeah, right.
And it's hilarious, but they're just little snippets that continue the story with the characters we love. And I mean, I love the movie anyway, but and I thought it might be one that could possibly venture into like a trilogy, but I don't know. Maybe, yeah, after this one, like you said, they've shown the adults. We've seen her hit her teenage years. So
I would be shocked if they could squeeze a third movie out of this. I wouldn't be shocked if they tried, but I'd be
well,
shocked.
Amy
if
Poehler's
they-
going to.
Well, I know. I'd be shocked if they pulled it off because I felt like this one compared to the first one was a little thin in terms of story. Like I said, 1.5 instead of a true 2.0 experience. Adam, what did you think about the voice acting and the new voices that were added into the mix? There were a couple of replacements from the first movie to this one, but a lot of new voices as well.
The new voices were fine. I don't think you really missed too much of the old ones. I always will like Bill Hader, but that doesn't always work out. I would say of the new characters, Ennui was my favorite.
Yeah,
I just
agreed.
thought it was so funny and just how they're fine. I will do it. It was just
I loved embarrassment too.
Yeah, embarrassment was cute.
Yeah.
We would be remiss if we did not call out my favorite new character, which was June Squibb as Nostalgia,
Oh yeah.
because I have a thing for crazy old ladies in movies. And then another reason why Despicable Me 4 didn't work for me, because even the crazy old lady couldn't save it.
June Squibb
But-
is always asked to play herself, and I love it. I hope
Oh,
it
yeah.
never changes. She is so good anytime she does something. Brooks,
Yeah.
do you agree with Adam? What'd you think about the voice acting and the new people?
I mean, obviously, like Amy Poehler knows what she's doing, and Lewis Black. I don't know anyone who could play Inger like Lewis Black, but Maya Hawke was great. I forgot she was cast as Anxiety and thought it was Rachel Bloom. So there's that. She may have been better, but they sound exactly the same, so that wouldn't matter either way.
Yeah.
And as far as like replacements go, as much as I love Bill Hader, they wrote the character and Bill Hader had to try to fit it into his type of comedy, where with this one, Tony Hale, they
Yeah.
kind of more wrote it for him.
Yeah, Tony Hale was an improvement for this character. And I love Bill
Mhm.
Hader, don't get me wrong, but I do think that change, which probably had to do with scheduling or something like that. It probably
No,
had
it
to
was
do-
money.
Was it? Oh, he didn't get enough money.
Strictly. Well, they gave Amy Poehler $5 million and they were offering everyone else like 500,000 or something.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
they were
a,
Yeah.
like, nope. Him and Mindy Kaling were said, see ya.
Who can blame them? That's a real look behind the curtain there. Thank you, Brooks. But
and I mean, when you have a movie that hit $1 billion in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
like I think they can afford more than $500,000 for,
For your
the
main
talent.
stars.
I'm glad you brought that up, Adam, because every couple of years there's the movie that saved cinema, right? And this
Told you.
right now is in terms of early summer, Inside Out 2 is doing incredibly well.
man.
People are going to see this movie. People are bringing their entire family. People are dropping money on this one. I mean,
I went back and saw it again.
do you think either one of you that this signals something good for theater experiences?
No.
Maybe for this movie.
You don't think
I
it's
still-
telling a larger story about people being comfortable going back in theaters again?
Not being comfortable, no, because I think if they want to see the movie, they'll go.
Yeah.
But I still don't know what happened with some of the other movies this year.
Well,
I mean, if
there are some heartbreakers this year. I mean,
Oh,
even
yeah.
even Dune 2 didn't do what it was supposed to, and Furiosa was a huge disappointment. So there's a couple of really great films that I think we're going to be talking about several months from now that the world didn't seem to care about all that much. But this one, for whatever reason, has really connected.
I think it's because it's Disney, it's Pixar, it's
Yeah.
Inside Out. Everyone is comfortable with the movie, I think. And that's probably one of the bigger draws, along with the family aspect. And it's better than a lot of movies that are playing right now. So
That's
it's
true.
like, if you can take everybody to it, why not?
Adam?
Yeah, and think about the fact that I think we've talked about it here before with streaming and Disney Plus and everything else. It's like, why would you go take all the kids out when you can just stay home and watch it for free, quote unquote free? But I'm sure mom and dad are very, very tired of hearing, whatever the new song is. I mean, Let It Go is kind of expired now, and like, oh my God, let's get the kids into something different. And so this came out and like, oh, it's colorful, it's Disney,
Mhm.
and so now the kids can have something new to be obsessed with. Because this is a thing too, where when it does finally hit streaming or Blu-ray or whatever else, like it's a fairly inoffensive movie as far as kids watching it over and over and over again. There's no songs that are going to get stuck in your head because Elsa's singing for the 35,000th billionth time about something. And it's colorful and it's bright, and there are a lot worse movies out there that your kids could want to watch again and again. So be thankful that they like this one, because it's not going to bug you that much.
You mean you'd rather have a child playing this and repeat than Despicable Me 4?
Yes, because when the minions are the best part of your movie, you have a problem.
Oh, because they're the worst part of the entire franchise.
Well,
Yeah.
you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, that you were going to get a review of Despicable Me 4. So far, that's the second mention of that film during this discussion of Inside Out 2. You probably didn't know you were going to get some bashing of Elsa either. It's a full service podcast, the Big Movie Mouth Out.
We cover everything.
Before we go to scores, I want to talk a little bit about the animation and the world building, because I feel like that's the one thing you never have to worry about with Pixar. The animation is always super professional, really well done, very slick. There's a lot of skill on display here. And I do think the world building is good. I don't think they did enough new with it. That's kind of back to my 1.5 comment. Do you guys agree that Pixar once again has done something super solid in terms of animation?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I thought this, even just the main design of the characters themselves looked better. Sid's been watching the first one, obviously, because this was coming out, and it looks odd to me for some reason. And I don't know if it was because I'd seen trailers and like TV spots for the new one and now have seen it twice, but like it weirdly doesn't look as good. That obviously says something about just that they can make the characters look so much better.
Yeah.
But it also has been a while since Inside Out came out.
It's true. It's been a few years, but I love the fact that they don't mail these things in. Like,
Yeah.
you could easily cut corners and they don't. Adam, what's your take on how it looks?
So they keep on just setting the bar for what good animation looks like. The one thing that really struck me with this is that how the textures on the characters, like they almost looked like fuzzy when you were up close. And it makes
Yeah.
sense because emotions are ephemeral, right? They're like, you
Yeah.
can't touch them. So the idea of fuzzy emotions made sense. I mean, for me, maybe I was looking through for stuff that wasn't there, but no, they keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. And as much as I know the textures are probably a focus for this movie, as far as their next step up, they didn't dwell on it like we did the monster with The Good Dinosaur. We got it right this time, because they were very proud of that effect and used it over and over again. Whereas this one, it was there to enhance the situation. So, I mean, if we're looking at what the best of animation is going to be in 20 years, not only will Pixar be on the cutting edge of it, they're going to still be sitting back and have everyone else going, why can't we do that?
Even on sequels, which they're probably not always putting their A team on, let's be honest. All right, let's score it up. Brooks, you go first. What'd you think of Inside Out 2?
Well, I mean, my initial reaction would have been probably a good 4 stars, and it maybe stuck with that through watching it with Sid, because she just was all into it and very excited and laughing. And but yeah, I mean, it is just more of the same. And even though there's nothing wrong with that, especially with this movie, we'll get into when there is a problem with that soon. Yeah, so but I'm going to stick a landing at a 3.5.
3.5. Okay, so you really liked it. Adam, where are you?
So I'm going with, for Inside Out 2, a 2.5. I walked out. I've liked it more since I walked out and thought more about it, because it is a well-made movie. And if I walked in not knowing about the previous one, I probably wouldn't have gotten some of the jokes about joy and anger and everything else, but I still would have fully enjoyed it as a movie. So there's nothing wrong with it, but counts, like you said, it's DLC. And so while I was hoping for a actual legitimate sequel that was telling new stories, we got a somewhat new story, but you kind of didn't. So it's not bad. Also, if you have kids, don't worry. When they watch it a million times, you'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
I just kind of expected more from Pixar.
I feel exactly the same way now as I did when I walked out. It hasn't evolved in either direction. And to me, it's 2.5 stars. Same as you, Adam. I liked it. Perfectly serviceable Pixar entertainment. Well drawn, well voiced, maybe not as well realized as the first film. So I'm at 2.5. Brooks, where are you?
3.5.
And Adam?
2.5.
Okay. That's our sequel for the show. When we come back, we're going to talk about a prequel, the movie that sets up the Quiet Place films. We are not going to talk about Despicable Me 4. Stop it, Adam. We're done with that.
Unless we have to.
Well, let's see what happens after we listen to a little bit of the trailer.
Shelter in place. Await further instruction.
We can help each other. We have to get out of the city.
Okay, Brooks, quick synopsis on this one.
All right. So it's A Quiet Place. We're in New York now. We're being introduced to a new character named Samira, going by Sam, played by Lupita Nyong'o. And she could be dying. We aren't sure at first, as it's never really made clear for a while. And then the aliens strike while they're attending dinner and a show in the city, as it happens. And so all hell breaks loose, and they have to figure out a way to hide from these monsters and find out what's going on. And somehow, within seconds, the entire city knows how to defend themselves. And meanwhile, Sam runs into Eric, played by Joseph Quinn, and the two of them have to figure out how to maneuver their way to the water because the cat won't stop making noises.
Adam, the one thing I love when Brooks does a synopsis is he starts doing his review about halfway through it. He can't help himself. He can't help himself. I mean, yeah, that is the story. Let me level set just a little bit. If you don't know the Quiet Place movies, then I'm not sure how much you're going to enjoy this film. I'm not sure how much
where you've been.
Right. But the concept is there are these monsters on Earth who hear at an extremely high level, but they can't see anything. So if you're quiet, they'll leave you alone. If you make any noise, they get you. So be quiet or you're dead is the central rule of the Quiet Place universe, as it were. Now, we'll get back to how often that rule is broken for expediency, but that's basically the idea. So, Brooks, you're right. We get to see the moment when the aliens arrive. And you're right. Within like 5 minutes in movie time, everybody understands that it's the noise that they can't see. And if you're quiet, you'll be okay. I don't know how that happens, but
there's an explosion. She gets knocked down. She wakes up and they're like,
it's like 15 years later or something. It's actually not. It's probably 15 minutes later. All right. There's two things that I wish I could score this film on its merits. Then I also wish I could score separately and independently Lupita Nyong'o's performance.
Yes.
Because she elevates everything around her. she's too good for this movie. She's too good for this kind of movie. She takes so little crumbs. They give her crumbs, Adam, and she does so much with them.
Oh, aside from Frodo, she's the best part of the movie. So
Frodo being
Frodo's
the cat.
Frodo?
Yes, Frodo's the best cat in a horror movie since Jonesy and Alien.
Ugh, I
No,
wanted to
but
kill it.
no, everything she's in, she is absolutely amazing in. Like she takes like you said, counts a crumb and makes a cake out of it, and not just any cake. It's a cake that you just want to devour all on your own. Like it's like just 7-layer cake, and you'll just try to eat it all, like at a wedding or something like that. She is absolutely perfect in this. Again, another person I'm going to be bringing up end of the year for our Vice Martin Award, because
Totally.
and maybe even for Best Actress, because what she does here, even like she'll just look like to the side and tilt her head, and you get so much out of that one little 2-second just thing that it just shows so much emotion and so much stuff going on in her head, and wondering, like you said, Brooks, like, hey, what is this, my last day for monsters? Is this my last day because of what's growing inside me? And there's some scenes where she's trying to get some medication, and we know that medication would be hard to get, and you're just there and you're like, this woman is dying in front of me. Like, not that the character is like, this actress died for this role.
Yeah.
So whatever she's in, she's fantastic. And again, she takes this and she really makes it her movie. Like, yeah, there are lots of aliens there, and I'll talk in a minute about how the trailer lies to you. But as much as this is, and they're called Death Angels, by the way. I learned that. Those are what the monster, they're called Death Angels.
They're continuing to make me not like this movie even more.
As much as it's supposed to be about the aliens invading Earth and taking over, it's about her.
I think we're saying the same thing, Adam. There's two movies happening here. There's an interior thing happening and an exterior thing happening, both to Sam. The interior thing is her sickness, and the exterior thing is obviously the monsters. I think the interior stuff is super interesting because of how good of an actor she is. But Brooks, do they nail the exterior stuff? Is the monster stuff any good?
Well, I mean, as we said with Inside Out 2, it's literally just more of the same.
Yeah.
But bigger. I mean, because it's one of the first attacks. It's New York. The monsters are everywhere. It's basically an infestation. And so, yeah, some of the visuals are cool, but all I know is that I never once was scared the entire movie, unlike the first two. I never tensed up. I never jumped. I don't know. Maybe it was because I watched the first two the Sunday before the screening back to back. It just didn't do anything new as far as the action.
Well, it doesn't do anything new as far as the action in its own mini universe, right? It's not fresh, even compared to the other two movies in the cycle. I also don't think it does anything new in the alien invasion subgenre of horror.
No.
The same problem I so often have with aliens in invasion movies. It's what I call the no pants, no personalities problem. They're just naked lizard beasts that are meant to scare the crap out of you, but could not possibly have flown here on anything like an interstellar ship. It's just not possible. Now, are they the shock troops of some more intelligent version of their race? I don't know. We never get given that kind of context. Maybe we will in the next one, and there will be next ones. They're going to make more of these.
I know.
But I find the aliens to be a little boring, a little predictable in terms of how they interact with their surroundings, the kind of sounds they make, that clicking rhythmic sound they've been using with aliens for decades. So again, the exterior part of what's happening to Sam, that's the way the trailer lies to you most loudly. Adam, you mentioned the trailer lying a minute ago. What did you mean when you said that?
Pretty much exactly what you've been talking about. So if you go see the trailer, this looks like the alien invasion movie, and it's all about them trying to be quiet when they're there and trying to escape and just destroy New York.
Which it
That's
is.
not what to a point. I mean, and there's plenty of times where they got to be quiet or they make a noise and millions of things come after them. I'm not saying it's not that, but that's not what this movie is about. And I'm going to reference a movie that is a lot better than this one. This movie made me think of Godzilla -1 in the sense that there's enough of Godzilla in it to make it exciting, make it a Godzilla movie, have the explosions, all that stuff. But the story is really about the people. So yes, in this movie, they misdirect you with this alien invasion and what's going on. And we don't learn anything about them except for how they eat, which is kind of strange. So they don't eat the humans, they just kill them. They eat these weird mushroom things.
Yeah.
I thought that's how they gave birth. So I was kind of confused by that. But this movie is 100% about Lupita Nyong'o as Sam. And I'm not going to tell you because you do need to kind of see it to get what's going on. and the reasoning for it, but her journey and what she wants out of this, when you see it at the end and all of a sudden it falls into place, you're like, that is absolutely gorgeous.
I almost wanted the monsters to stay away so we could get more of her interior story.
Yes.
And our colleague in UFCA, Scott, he's often talked about how a movie will sometimes teach you how to watch it. And I think that's true here because obviously the film is trying to be quiet itself. So a lot of the film is without a score. Whenever the score comes in, that's a signal to you, the viewer, that you're in Sam's internal struggle again. When we're dealing with the external, it's quiet because it has to be, because that's the conceit of the world. And when we're dealing with her interior, the score comes in. It's very subtle. Doesn't happen very often, but it is a signal that you're going to get what I consider to be the best parts of the movie. Now, in speaking of that silence, Brooks, and I mentioned early on that we would talk about the rules of this particular universe. I feel like it's incredibly inconsistent how much sound is required to piss off these monsters. I feel like in some scenes, if you need it, a pin drop brings 500 of them. In other scenes, you can be walking through water and breathing heavy and nothing happens. I don't understand that inconsistency. Did you find that too?
Well, the water made sense because they set that up in the first movie. Because they had Krasinski take his kid down to the river so they could fish, and it was because of the noise that they were able to talk to each other.
I don't mean like the sound of the fountain covering the other noises. I mean them walking through puddles or just walking on the ground, making loud footfalls. It seemed like that inconsistency was plot driven.
Because you never knew what was going to piss them off.
Right. And
unless they wanted them to.
I know that for people like us, movies that don't obey their own inner mechanisms can be very frustrating. Other people may not care, but I can't imagine there's anybody in the audience that wasn't thinking, isn't she breathing kind of loud? Where's the monster?
I think that's one of the things that I had a big problem with the monsters in this and why I never was scared for a second is because they've set the rules so hard with the first two movies.
Yeah.
And then this one just kind of does whatever it wants.
Adam, I also found that the way the monsters looked to be disappointing in this movie, not just the fact that they didn't always follow the rules, but I didn't feel like the CGI was always on point. What about you?
No, it wasn't. That was definitely a weak point in the film. And maybe it's because there were so many, because in previous ones we had only a few to show up close that were like,
I think there were
right
only
in your
3
face.
in the first one.
Right.
Yeah, or something like that. So when you have to expand your budget exponentially, and I'm pretty sure they didn't give them more of a budget than the first two. I mean, that's the whole point of these movies is that you can make them for pretty much dirt cheap and still have the good effect, which isn't to say they're bad movies by all. It's not like it's Freddy versus Jason 25 or anything.
It was 67 million.
67, yeah.
That's still a lot for this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in that spot though where it's like, okay, we have some faith in it, but maybe not enough. And there's a great article out there about mid-priced movies between $20 and $200 million that Google it. It's a great article about how studios have faith in things. But $67 million for a tentpole like summer movie, that's not a lot. That's a small number.
It's definitely not. And I talked when we were reviewing Inside Out 2 about studios not throwing their A teams at sequels a lot. And I think that's the same here. With the exception of Lupita Nyong'o. Everyone involved with this project owes her for whatever nickel it makes because it's her. It's her that matters. It's her that I remember. It's her that I want to talk about. And Adam, you mentioned a movie that you thought was better than this one. I'll tell you a movie I thought was better than this one. The First Quiet Place. I mean, did you like the first one? Were you invested?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was amazing because you had a great cast. I mean, Emily Blunt can do no wrong. I'll watch her read the phone book. It had a great ending that was very reminiscent of the book, the movie Tuesday, which I don't think you guys have seen yet. The last scene of Tuesday and the last scene of The Quiet Place are almost identical. Obviously not with a shotgun in the other movie, but no, it was fantastic. We had, the sacrificing for the greater good, for the people you love. And again, I think it's hard to sometimes compare them because when you got a movie like A Quiet Place, the first one, it's building this world and setting the stage for what's going to happen. And they didn't know it was going to be a hit. So all of a sudden, like, oh God, we made a bunch of money. Let's make a new one. The only movie that really kind of upended that was John Wick. So if you go watch the first John Wick, it's still a good movie. But then you look at 2 through 4 and you're like, oh, it's so dated by comparison.
I still love the first one the most.
Oh, I do. The most. Okay, never mind. I don't. But I don't really, in some cases, don't find it fair to compare because the first one was just, again, lightning in a bottle, so amazing. But again, I did like this one a lot. I can't really explain the exact details why you two know what I'm talking about when I talk about Sam and what her goal in life was. But I would say, yeah, the first one's better. And if I were to score it, I would definitely give it at least half a star or more higher. But I still enjoyed this for what it was.
Well, let's go to scores. I think there's other ways we can talk about the details of this film, but I think we've kind of made our points, our necessary points. I'm going to go first. I feel like without Lupita Nyong'o, this would have been half as good, maybe a third as good. She really carries it. And I think her story is wonderful. And I think the mix of the interior and the exterior had a lot of potential, but he only got half of it. So because of her performance, I'm going to score this movie 2 stars. I probably would have been a lot lower without her, though. Adam, what about you?
So I'm a bit higher. I'm actually at 3 stars because I love the fact that, again, this is going back to the last couple episodes, is an intimate story told at a grand level. And what could be more grand than aliens attacking the biggest city in the world, one of them, New York City. And the way that, again, Lupita Nyong'o nailed this, and even letting some of the side characters have their moments to shine and do their own thing, and how intimate the story was compared to all the craziness going on around them, and the reasons what she was doing and where she was going, and the why part made this resonate with me. And I walked out with Clark and a friend of mine, and I was like, I liked it a lot. They're like, well, of course you did. I'm like, I don't think you understood why I liked it. Like,
yeah.
I don't think you got that point. But
that's something you would say to me if I walked out and said that.
yeah,
And I'm the one who liked it probably the least.
Yeah,
well,
and I've said that to you before. So that's if it wasn't for the small parts of the story with her, that's what made it for me. So
where are you, Brooks?
I'm going to break the show and give a Scary Movie 1.5 stars.
You broke my brain, not just the show.
wow.
There's so many things in this movie that just infuriated me after the fact.
It does have problems.
It's just one thing after the other. And the stupid cat that exists solely to make everyone do something
I like
stupid
the cat.
or to make some kind of noise.
You know,
like cats.
I'm so glad you brought up the cat, Brooks, because the cat was a problematic part of this movie. The cat popped up in preposterous ways, got itself in and out of ridiculous situations. I'm not sure what the point of that thing was. It was just to remind you that there's still good things in the world. I don't know, but it did not work for me, the cat.
The most important thing was that the cat came back.
Sure.
Many times, 8 times, I think. We didn't get to see the 9th one. That's in the next movie. But I'm at 2 stars. Adam, where are you?
3 stars.
And Brooks?
1.5.
When we come back, we're going to do our guilty pleasures. It's about disaster movies. I remind you, disasters in progress, not post-apocalypse, current apocalypse. Let's take a little break. We'll be right back to do that. Welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
Guilty Pleasures Disaster Edition. Adam, you go first.
Okay, so they're letting me go first because I think Brooks and I might have the same one. So let's see if we both picked This Is the End.
Well, that was going to be my backup because I thought you were going to go with something else.
All right. So This Is the End. It's the stoner comedy with Seth Rogen, James Franco, Jay Baruchel, about they're having this big party. And then all of a sudden the rapture happens and then demons come to Earth, start killing everything. Jonah Hill gets possessed. It's a horrible movie. It's not good. No, it is a bad movie. I will stand by that.
Okay.
But I will say I love it to death. And it's worth watching, if only to see the Mad Max biker dudes have Channing Tatum as their gimp.
So when did that come out?
Oh, gosh. That was back in 2013. So that was a long time ago.
Well,
which means I'm
years.
old because I thought it was like 5 years ago. So
It feels like 5, but I think there's a 3-year period that we aged 18 years.
Well, if that was your second choice, Brooks, what was your first choice?
All right. Well, I mean, come on. How can we not go with the 2012 classic John Cusack movie, 2012?
Well, all right. 2 things. You picked mine, first of all. And I wish they were
Like you
smart.
do.
I wish they were smart enough to put it out in 2012. They didn't. It came out in
I know.
2009. It should
That's why I
be in
thought it was funny
2012.
to say that.
Well, tell why. Why is that your guilty pleasure? And I'll see if I can help.
Because it's the most ridiculous disaster movie ever made. But who else could do it but Roland Emmerich? And who else would I want to see the end of the world as we know it than with John Cusack as a limo driver?
I mean, John Cusack as a leading man in an adventure flick is preposterous. It's ridiculous.
Which makes it even better.
It's what makes it even better. This movie,
It's the same with Con Air.
So the whole point of 2012 is that that's the year in the Mayan calendar when the world is supposed to end. So in this film, in this world, it actually does. And the destruction, the scale of the destruction is hilarious and fantastic. And John Cusack is just so miscast and it's so wonderful. I picked this one too, Brooks. I can't believe you did. I thought for sure you would do something more obscure. I thought I was being real basic with this one.
People have no idea how much I love watching that sequence. Just once everything starts blowing up,
and they're in the car.
Oh,
that sequence, it's incredible. The car sequence is unbelievable. All right, well, I was hoping we'd give people 3 good disaster movies, but we gave them 2. And Brooks picked only 2, Adam, and they were both of ours. Did you notice that?
I mean, that's might be why we do this podcast, is we're all like somehow linked brain to brain to brain. So
you often think 2 alike. All right. What was yours, Adam?
This is The End, 2013.
And which one did we pick, Brooks?
Our 2009 favorite, 2012.
We're going to take one last break, come back and talk about our coming attractions. Don't leave. Welcome back one last time on episode 21 of Big Movie Mouth Off, coming attractions. And I'm going to talk about something that is not coming very soon. It's probably not coming until late next year. I am very excited about the announcement of Gears of War E-Day. As an Xbox
I haven't heard
guy,
of that one yet.
It's a prequel. I mean, since we're talking about prequels, I'm kind of on theme. It goes back before the first Gears of War, Adam, and shows us when Emergence Day was. So Marcus is with Dom again. They're both young. I don't think it's going to come out till later in 2025. So to call it a coming attraction is a bit of a stretch, but that's the thing I've seen recently that has me the most excited. Brooks, what about you?
So I actually just discovered mine last night. I had no idea this movie existed. It was a random trailer on YouTube, and I was like, what is this? Is this an actual trailer? Because I was very confused with what it was, because it says that it's starred Childish Gambino. And I was like, but that's Donald Glover. What is this? So I clicked on it, and lo and behold, it's Bando Stone and the New World. And it is one of the most bonkers trailers I've ever seen.
I have
and it's
no
Donald
idea
Glover's big screen directorial debut, and it's going to be amazing.
I'm going to look that up as soon as we're done recording. Wow. What's it called again?
Bando Stone and the New World.
Adam, is there any way that he chose yours?
No, he didn't at all.
Okay, good.
So mine was a Danish film from Sundance 2 years ago that they're remaking, because of course they do. However, this one does star James McAvoy, who is amazing. It is the movie Speak No Evil.
Oh, I've seen this
looks
trailer.
so bad.
You really? You think so?
It looks horrible.
So if it's
maybe in a good way.
We're going to
So
make Brooks do the synopsis of that.
It'll wind up being a guilty pleasure, I'm sure.
So here's the thing: is that the original film premiered at Sundance, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was a Danish film, and you've got 2 couples meet on vacation. One couple invites the other back to their place for like, hey, let's have a weekend retreat kind of thing. And then things go like you do. And then things go weird. And I will say that in the original movie has some of the most harrowing sequences I've ever seen, that not only drove up my anxiety, but was driven by the anxiety of the characters in the movie. Allegedly, this one is following the original pretty closely. So if it does that, it will be good. And I love James McAvoy. I'll watch him in anything. Wanted is still one of my favorite movies of all time.
I mean, same here. I love him too. I mean,
it's so underrated.
He saved Split just by how good he is. I think he really is one of our best, and I do think he does creepy extremely well. So I'm excited about that one too. So say it again, Adam. What's your coming attraction?
Speak No Evil.
And Brooks?
Bando Stone and the New World.
And mine is video game, Gears of War E-Day. That's going to do it for episode 21. I do have 2 reshoots, and they're both on me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So in the last episode, I was referring to the size of Anya Taylor-Joy's eyes, and I mentioned the film with the CGI face, Alita Battle Angel, but I said Attila Battle Angel.
You did?
Yes, I did, which
I didn't catch
you,
that.
Hun.
makes absolutely no sense.
Oh.
But anyways, it's
Oh,
Alita,
hun.
not Attila. And the other thing I did wrong was talking about Jeff Nichols, one of my favorite directors ever. I was excited about The Bike Riders, and
So good.
I mentioned a film of his that I called The Shotgun Diaries. It's actually The Shotgun Stories. Apologies, guys. It'll never happen again.
Ever.
Brooks?
Have a quick update on my coming attraction.
Yes?
It's a dystopian post-apocalyptic world. So timely.
Brooks, you are always on theme. I appreciate that. That is finally going to do it for episode 21. Real quick, Adam, what'd you think of Despicable Me 4? Never mind. I don't want to know.
No, then I won't have to write the review.
I think we're not going to talk about
I don't
that
think
on the
you
next
need to
episode.
now.
We definitely don't. Well, we'll be back in a couple weeks talking about movies. Until then, I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald, who did not like Despicable Me 4.
Dang it. Thanks for being with us. Big Movie Mouth Off was produced and edited by me, Jeff Counts, and co-hosted by Adam McDonald and Brooks Bird. Our theme music is written by Brian Z. Richards, and this show is dedicated to the memory of our founders, Jeff Michael Weiss, and my partner in crime for over 5 years, the incomparable Jimmy Martin.